I just paid 9 Chinese yuan for this. That's crazy, just less than $2. Many people are scared, thinking, oh, if I go to China, I might just get arrested for a little thing that I do. 在这里6年。哎呦，6年了。6年在中国。好，这里你可以帮我。So one thing about living here in China, almost everything requires a code or Alipay or WeChat. How bad or how good is China? No, really, how bad or how good is China? There might have been so many people who want to visit China, and checking online, they must have seen so many videos, both positive and negative videos, showing the good sides of China, the bad sides of China, and so many videos saying, oh, China is bad, or in China you have so much trouble, or there's no food in China, or China is not tourist friendly. So I just had to come out here today to talk about this topic. Is China really a good country to visit as a tourist? And when you come to China, what is the life really like? Is it like everyone is saying here on YouTube? Is it all this amazing life? Or is China actually collapsing like so many people say every time? Well, it's a bright day here in Guangdong, China, and I just thought I should come out and talk about this topic because there's so many people who might want to travel to China, but when they see all the videos, they are confused. Because in some videos, some people say, oh, China is this way or that way, and you shouldn't go to China because you or your organs might get harvested, or you might get kidnapped, or the government might just imprison you for walking around or filming a video, or are you even free to make a video while walking around in China? So many people ask this question every time, and I just had to come out here today to make this video to tell you guys the reality of what is really happening right here in China. So if you are planning to visit China or have an experience here in China as a tourist or for work, this is definitely the video for you. I'm just gonna tell you the reality of living in China, of course, the good sides and the bad sides. What will your experience be if you visit China as a foreigner? Now, guys, the truth is that China is not perfect. And if you visit China as a foreigner, of course, you will have your difficulties, lots of difficulties. Just like if you visit any country in the world which is new to you, you will have your difficulties. But the kind of difficulties that you will face here in China will not be the same like most of the difficulties that you will face in many countries around the world. I know if you have been planning to come to China and you are confused, you must have seen so many videos here on YouTube which shows some very old clips about China, trying to maintain the old China that so many people had this misconception about in the media. But things are very different right now. For a start, normally if you are coming to China or if you are going to any place in the world, you should definitely want to do your research before you go to that place. I'm sure if you are going to Italy, if you are going to Greece, if you are traveling to South Africa or to any place in the world, you definitely have to do your research before you go. Because of course, if you do not do your proper research, you will definitely face lots of difficulties. One of the first points of visiting China is the language. Of course, so many people complain about the language difference while living here in China or while visiting China, and that's the truth. It's a very difficult situation when you just come to China without understanding the language completely. But of course, if you are moving to China, at least understand the basics. Maybe ni hao, maybe wo hen hao, maybe xie xie, you know, just the basic words. And when you get here, you can use your phone for the translation. It's easy. There are so many foreigners who come to China these days and they travel around China without any stress. One thing you won't find in China is crime, like something that can harm you physically or any kind of situations that you can harm yourself or you can lose your bag or theft. That's one thing you will not find here in China as a foreigner. But one thing I can assure you that you will find are many friendly people who want to know about your culture, many people who want to understand where you're coming from and about your own country. They'll just be really genuinely inquisitive and asking questions like that. So if you are coming to China, just understand that definitely you will have some difficulties adapting for the first few days, but after a while everything will just be fine, and you have no difficult problem adapting to the whole environment, because right now I think many Chinese are very friendly to foreigners, to people coming to this country. And the language, even if you can't speak the language, sometimes when you ask for help, many people will be willing to give you help. Many people will be willing to guide you, to help you to find your way. If you are lost and trying to find a subway station, you have no problem about that. So that's the very first aspect, millennials. Traveling, language, that's one of the most basic understanding that you need to be aware of before traveling to China. Now there's more, but then I'm around the mall here. I'm gonna try to get some coffee. This is Luckin coffee, very popular here in China, I think. Let me try to see if it's open and I can get some. Okay, yeah. Hello. OK， 这个多少？
这个要扫码一下单哦。
你没有一个？
菜单，你可以看一下。
哪里 ？OK，let's see。好，这里第一个。
哦，需要您的手机扫码下单。
扫。好，这里你可以帮我。 So one thing about living here in China, almost everything requires a code or Alipay or WeChat. It's a cashless society, as I can say. So many people, when they come to China, you don't need cash. You just have to use your Alipay or your WeChat to pay for everything. And if you want to go to a hotel, if you want to go to a public location and book anything, you just need to use your phone. It's quite different, and that's one of the benefits or advantages of living here in China, and it's fast. Ha, Jelly.
你要喝什么？是椰拿铁啊？
对，第一个。
热的还是冷的？
热的。
需要糖吗？
吗？
要不要糖 ？sugar。
一点点，不太多。
好，收回一下。
Okay, so I just paid using my WeChat, and that's how everything works here in China. You just got to. Okay, let me hold on out here while waiting for my coffee. So, millennials, one thing about living here in China is the convenience, of course. When you live here in China, you just need to use your WeChat code, your Alipay code, and you can pay for everything you want, no matter where you go. Even roadside sellers have the option to pay using your WeChat or your Alipay, which is really good since you don't even need any cash when you're moving around. And of course, if you are scared that your phone battery will go low, there are many power banks all around China that you can just rent for very cheap. Yeah, you can rent very cheap, and it's really affordable. So even if your battery runs low, you can get free power banks where you can pay just a little amount of money and you can charge your phone. So the truth is that China is not perfect, of course. It's just like every other country. When you visit, you have difficulties adapting, but once you adapt, everything just starts going really smoothly. Let's see if the coffee is okay. It's ready. 可以吗？谢谢。Thank you. All right. So I got it. That's it. Yeah, so I just got the coffee. This is it. I just paid 9 Chinese yuan for this. That's crazy. Just less than $2. Yeah, less than $2 for the Luckin coffee. I paid 9 Chinese yuan for this. That's one aspect about China. China is really affordable when it comes to coffee, drinks, milk tea, food. It's so cheap. So if you're coming to China, one thing you can be sure of is the affordability. It's really affordable to live in China. Anyone can live in China on a budget, and that's the difference between China and many other countries around the world. Everything seems to be subsidized here in China for everyone. When it comes to food, if you are scared of visiting China because you are like thinking maybe the food won't be good, or you are vegetarian, China has all types of food. I think there's a whole lot of variety of food here in China. More than 50 different cuisines, if I'm not mistaken. And no matter who you are, I believe that you will definitely find the kind of food that you like here in China. Let's see. Alright, so I just got the camera down there, and this is the coffee, just 9 Chinese yuan. Really affordable. And that's one good aspect about China. You can live here in China on a budget. You don't need to spend a lot. If you like to eat outside, if you like to eat at home, it's all affordable for everyone, whether you're a foreigner or Chinese. And that's why if you are visiting China for your first time, you'll be blown away by the prices of goods right here in China, of course. And the coffee is great, really nice, not bad at all. Now, millennials, I understand that so many people are scared of the cameras here in China when they want to visit. They might think, oh, I want my privacy. I don't want my privacy to be invaded. Well, that's the reason why you are safe while visiting China. Of course, there are so many cameras, but you won't even notice it. It's just like street cameras that are found in many other countries around the world. So the cameras are no big problem, and I believe that's the reason why you can have fun here in China for as long as you want, and you have nothing to worry about. Now, I know the next point that so many tourists are actually scared of, like visiting China, is the aspect of the police. Many people are scared, thinking, oh, if I go to China, I might just get arrested for a little thing that I do, or the police might not be friendly to me, or no matter what you do, you might get into trouble and have issues with the police. But it's not that way. As a matter of fact, guys, I think the police here in China are very friendly as compared to the police in many other countries around the world. As compared to the police in my country, the police here are really friendly, and I think they understand what they are supposed to do at every point in time. So if you are visiting China, of course the police keeps you safe. And most times, many tourists or many foreigners who come here to China do not even have to worry about the police, because throughout your stay here in China, you might not even have any interaction with the police. So I think you have nothing to worry about. And again, there's another question that so many people have been asking me about, like, are the Chinese really friendly? Are they friendly to tourists? Are they friendly to black people? Are they friendly to foreigners? Well, let me tell you about the people here in China, millennials. One thing about the people here in China is that they will be so inquisitive, genuinely inquisitive, and they will have so many questions for you as a foreigner. So get ready for the questions. And of course, the pictures. So many people want to take pictures with you, asking you questions about where you're from, and saying welcome to China, and just asking you what you're doing in China, how long you've been in China, and if you can speak Chinese. So I think you should get ready for those questions, and I think that's the highest you can get from the people. But one thing about the Chinese people that I've noticed during my 6 years here in China is that there are so many friendly people here in China, and I can vouch for that. So I think you have nothing to worry about when it comes to safety here in China, when it comes to your relaxation, and it's fun. No matter where you go to, when you visit any city here in China, it feels like you have gone to a completely different country. It's so much fun, the vibe is amazing. In the morning, during the day, at night, it's all great. And during my time here, I've had so much fun. And one thing I have to advise you about is the food. You need to be careful not to eat so much at night, because you can grow fat. You can grow so fat. And I think that's one downside of living here in China. If you are a night person here in China, you easily grow fat, because there's so much barbecue, Shaokao, as it's called in Chinese, and there's a whole lot of places you can go to have fun. So when you hear in the media people say China is that dystopian society where you have no freedom and you have problems, and if you go there as a tourist, your life is at risk, you might get imprisoned for no reason. That's so funny what people say all the time. But then, millennials, my own advice to you is to just come and visit. If you have the chance, if you can afford it, if you can travel, if you like to travel and explore new places, come this way, visit China and see for yourself. Experience the people, experience the place, I think there are so many amazing people here. There are so many amazing places here to see and visit. Amazing culture. And if you come here, you won't be disappointed. I just make these videos for us all to understand that China is not what you might think it is. You are free to do so many things here in China, and you do not have to worry about your safety and your life here in China. And I'm sure if you've been watching many videos here on YouTube, you would have noticed that there's so much infrastructure going on, so much building of infrastructure, so much advancement in technology. That's real, that's true. If you come here, it's not green screen. No one is paid to show all of those things. It's all reality. For example, all the subway stations, all the railway stations, it really helps to create convenience. Like, you can travel around China with no stress. You have nothing to worry about while traveling around China. Your life is safe, you can travel fast and cheap. And that's really a good aspect about China because it's so affordable, as I said already. And if you travel, you have nothing to worry about. I'm still enjoying the coffee. But then, thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see more amazing videos, click on this. Hello.
Hello，
你在干嘛？
这不是啊。
做事。你每天在做事吗？
是
是你的工作。
是。
你每天过来这里做。
啊。
我叫 Willene。
Willene。
Willene，你呢？
叫李博。
很高兴认识你。
姓李。
哈。
你搞这个搞。
对。就这个。
你搞咖啡吧，搞电视用电视
对，
台。
拍视频。
拍视频。
对。我可以问一下，我可以问一下一个东西吗？你在这里工作几年？
有3、4年了吧。
4年，4年在这里工作。4年。
有以前那人来了。
你很厉害啊。
是有4年了吧？是不是？
对。
4年了，已经4年哦。
哦，好的。你的工作怎么样？
那个还可以。
还可以。好，谢谢。我可以买你一个咖啡吗？
谢谢。
没事，我们去买一个咖啡，没事。你真的很热情，所以我觉得还有你在工作很好的工作，你在做一个很好的工作，所以我觉得你喝咖啡你可以工作很好。对。
在这里有多久了？
在这里6年。
哎呦，也6年了。
6年在中国。
哎呦，这6年了。
对，6年。
这个6年了。
对，6年。
在这里很好。
好的。
你们地方跟我们这个地方。
我们前面可以去吗？
前面。
对，前面一点可以去吗？
可以。这里也可以抽。
这里也有咖啡的地方吗？
这里也有。
对，
里面有。
这里可以买。
谢谢啊。
没事，你过来我买。
不是，谢谢。
没事。
谢。
等一下我买过来给你啊。
谢谢。
She doesn't want the coffee.
谢谢。给你面包给你吃。
什么？
给你面包给你吃。你尝一下。
没事。哦，谢谢。
没有吃啊？
谢谢，没事。没事，是我要给你咖啡。
没事，谢谢。
哦，没事，我们一起进去。So I'm getting in this way, and I'm insisting.
你拍的你过去啊？
对，我在拍视频。
在视频拍的你过去啊？
对。
没搞得好，很厉害。
好，你看一下我说的。是的，一个咖啡啊，一杯咖啡可以吗？没事，我知道是你的工作真的非常重要，所以不是一个大问题啊。好，谢谢。好，拜拜。没事啊，谢谢，拜拜。So after a long struggle, guys, I succeeded to convince her to give her a cup of coffee. It was so hard. And that's one thing about living here in China. You're gonna insist over and over when you wanna support someone. It's just a cup of coffee. It's no big deal. I think her work is important, and sometimes someone can be having a bad day or a difficult day anywhere in the world, but a little gesture can just make their day happy. It's no big deal. I'm glad she accepted the coffee. It's so difficult here in China for people to accept anything from you. And if you're a tourist visiting China, you should be aware that when you want to give tips, for example, people will not accept. When you want to give some money to people, they will not want to accept. I'm just lucky that this auntie actually accepted the tip, not a tip actually, the cup of coffee that I offered for her, of course, to keep her work going. Well, guys, it's been an amazing walk and I'm still drinking my own coffee. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see more amazing videos like this, feel free to like this video. Of course, please like this video. Check on this channel for more amazing videos. If you want to see videos about insights in China and life in China, of course, and understand the reality of China and the world in general, and there's so much more. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, this is Willene. See you next time.